And here's what she chose to do with that anger. She chose to start an organization called Mothers Against Drunk Driving. In the last 28 years, they are responsible for raising the drinking age from 18 to 21. They are the ones responsible for changing the legal limit of alcohol to 0.08. They are responsible for the major initiatives that have dealt with teenagers in our public schools about drunk driving, buzz driving, and its danger. Directly because of their influence in America, drunk driving rates, deaths, in the last 28 years have fallen 40%. She took that anger that she felt to rise up and confront a real injustice, a real problem. And that use of anger actually made the world a better place. Whenever we use anger in a righteous way, it makes the world a better place. How about when you and I tend to use our anger? Do we make our home a better place? Do we make our marriage a better place? Do we make our workplace a better place? Do we make our neighborhood a better place? Do we make our church a better place? Do we make our circle of friends a better place? How does that work? Anger becomes destructive when it becomes selfish about us and how we feel and what we want, rather than real problems that need to be fixed. There's another reason that sometimes anger gets really, really destructive, and that is it's expressed in the wrong ways. It's not expressed like Candace Lightner expressed her anger. Or like Mother Teresa or Dr. Martin Luther King might have expressed their anger. Instead, we tend to have one of two improper expressions of anger. Some of us are spewers. And you know who you are. Because what happens with you is something causes you to get angry and you explode. Words, some of them not very nice, come flying out of your mouth. And you might throw things, and you might hit things or people. See, for some of us, this is what we look like when we get angry. This is us. This is an event in our life that just makes life harder or inconvenient, and we don't get what we want, and all that kind of stuff. And when that event hits our heart, what we do is we do that. We just bubble up and we just erupt in anger, and we just spew all sorts of stuff, and we leave a mess behind us. Spewing will always leave things worse off than they were. And some of us express our anger by spewing. But some of us, no, we're not spewers. We're stewers. Yeah, the interesting thing about, cooking stew is you have to have a real low flame that burns for a long, long time. And so for some of us, what we do is we have an event that happens in our life that doesn't go quite the way we want. Like, say, lighting a gas stove. Okay? I'm not going to turn the gas any higher. But once we do, we get that lit, and then we just put that on the stove, and we just let things simmer. And we don't spew, we don't erupt, we hold it in. We might even have a smile on our face. We might even go, that's all right. But inside, it's a slow burn. And we fuel that every day when we think about what that person said, what it did. We just slow burn. And we just let it stew and stew and stew. Weeks, months, years, until we get the time time when we have the opportunity to do some subtle thing or speak some subtle word that'll just stick it to the person that hurt us. The spewers, they erupt and they destroy things immediately. And the spewers, they just let it simmer for so very long. And they end up tearing themselves up on the inside. And then they just are very subversive in looking for ways to kind of undermine the people that have made them bad. Which of the two are you? You see, what I already know is we're all one of the two. Because we've all got that, dark, twisted anger thing going on, every one of us. Except me. Okay, including me. And I know which one I am. When there is spewing or stewing, it is an inappropriate expression of anger, and it can only destroy things. And we look around at our world, our culture, our homes, our schools, and the reason we see so much destruction and anger is because it's arising for the wrong reasons. They're selfish, rather than injustice and other people being hurt, and we're expressing it in all the wrong ways. So the question becomes, how can we break free of that? How can we break free of that kind of anger? And we've got to break free. So we looked at Ephesians chapter 4, and remember what it said, in your anger do not sin. Don't be a spewer. Don't let the sun go down in your wrath. Don't be a stewer. And do not give place to the devil. Do you know what God is teaching us? That inappropriate anger arising for the wrong reason, expressed the wrong way, becomes a beachhead, a foothold in our lives that Satan uses to get us to do more and worse damage to ourselves and others. Literally, when it says, don't give the devil a foothold, don't give him a place in your life, the word literally speaks of a beachhead. It speaks of an invading army landing on shore and conquering some territory that it can use as a base to launch assaults on a nation it's trying to conquer. And what we do when we let anger arise for the wrong reasons, we express anger the wrong way, is we're basically going, okay, devil, here you go. Here's an opportunity for you to ride my anger and do your work in me and to do your work in others through me. That's literally what happens when we have anger problems. You know, one of the things I've noticed in my life, being the lives of many I've talked to, is that when there are anger issues, there are other problems that surround the anger. It's like anger attracts other problems. People, which when they get angry, they go out and they get drunk. It's people when they get angry, they hop on the internet and they look at pornography. It's people when they get angry that they end up abusing their wives or their kids. He's like, in that anger, it's all turmoil and a day, and Satan gets in it, and he works in our head, and he works with our mind, and we end up doing even more damaging things. We've got to stop giving him that incredible advantage to mess us up and to mess others up through us. We've got to break free of this destructive kind of anger. How can we? I kind of look at it this way. It's not complicated. It's not easy, but it's not complicated. If we want to be able to break through from this inappropriate anger, first, we need a renewed nature.